Is the existence of a multiverse a problem for the Christian faith? The multiverse is a hypothesis that there's not just one universe, but an infinite number of universes where they're all different from one another, and several atheist scientists have therefore speculated that these fine-tuned features that make our existence possible are not the result of the supernatural handiwork of God, but rather it's simply pure chance based on an infinite possibilities in a multiverse. I remember back in the 1980s telling audiences that eventually the evidence for the fine-tuned design of the universe for our possible existence would become so overwhelming and so pervasive that atheists would have nowhere else to go but to hypothesize that there's an infinite number of universes where they're all different from one another. Come the 21st century, that's exactly where atheist scientists have gone. But it was another atheist agnostic scientist, Leonard Susskind, who basically told his peers, we've got to stop using the multiverse. It explains everything, and an argument that explains everything explains nothing. What I did in my book, The Creator and the Cosmos, 4th edition, is to give an analogy, an illustration, to make Leonard Susskind's point. That in infinity, well, infinity plus infinity is infinity. Infinity times infinity is infinity. Infinity to the infinity power is infinity. So if you've got an infinite number of universes where they're all different from one another, you'll wind up with an infinite number of planets, just like planet Earth. And those infinite number of planet Earths, you're going to have an infinite variety of birch tree species. And birch tree species have the property of peeling thin white pieces of bark. But if you've got an infinite variety of birch tree species, one of those species will peel thin white pieces of bark that are perfectly rectangular, that measure 8.5 by 11 inches. And these pieces of bark will randomly fall on soils with random chemicals in them that'll make markings on these pieces of birch bark that will duplicate every paragraph, every diagram, every equation, every photograph that's ever been placed in every scientific paper that's ever been published. So those 10 million plus scientific research papers, they didn't come from the minds of scientists. The multiverse did it. And so you're basically demonstrating that if you're going to appeal to the multiverse to eliminate supernatural design by God, it simultaneously eliminates all designs, including all designs by we human beings. It's a philosophically inconsistent argument. And there's a positive way of putting this too, is that if God indeed designed the universe as opposed to pure chance, we would expect the more we learn about the universe, the greater accumulation of evidence we'll find that it indeed has been exquisitely fine-tuned by a being, a personal being, beyond space and time. That's exactly what we see. It's something I've documented in 5 books I've written on the fine-tuned designs of the universe that make possible the redemption of billions of human beings.